Over here on the right, you can see I three bet Gopher. He started making these min raises on the button, which is I think a decent play if he's going to try to play more. I think it means he wants to play more hands on his button because if he's making a smaller raise, he can do it with a wider range, and that means I'm going to start three betting him a little bit more. I probably wouldn't be three betting with fives if we were really deep. Like if we were like 150 big blinds deep, I don't think I would three bet him with fives because they're kind of a tough hand to play from out of position. But for just 100 big blinds, I'm willing to do it. And actually, if this three bet with Queen Jack offsuit against a trickier player, I probably wouldn't make that play either. I do think, based on what I've said about Gopher so far, I think I am going to be able to get away with doing this. I think I'm not going to face a lot of real tough decisions on Queen or Jack high flops, and I think I'll be able to avoid like paying off in circumstances where I get beat. I think I'm not going to entirely lose my S. It's kind of a coordinated flop. On the other hand, I do have overs and a gut shot, and I think it's a fine time to lead out on him. I don't think I would three bet him if, given how deep we are, I wouldn't three bet him if raised. It is a spot where I would probably, if we were only 100 big blinds deep, I probably would shove over a raise there because it's a spot Gopher's shown us that he's capable. That's one of the spots I was talking about where Gopher's shown us that he's capable of raising in a three bet pot as a bluff. We saw him do it once with like a 7-8 offsuit, I think, on a king high flop. So we know that he's capable of raising the flop as a bluff, and we're going to have at least the gut shot, if not overcard outs as well, if we're called there. So I think Queen Jack is a decent hand to jam on him with, because it does have some equity when called. The other thing that we've seen from Gopher, although this doesn't necessarily help our equity that much when we are called, but it does help our fold equity, that he's not making a lot of thin value raises. So I'm not going to expect him to raise like ace-8 on that turn for value and on that flop for value and then call a shove. I think that he's going to have a very polarized range, and obviously he's not going to have flop like top two or better all that often. So I think if he were to raise that flop, on the hand where we had Queen Jack, he would have a relatively weak range for doing that, or there would be a lot of bluffs in that range because he just doesn't have that many value hands if he's never raising worse than two pair for value. You see on the tables where we're deeper, these two left tables were 200 big blinds, or I guess only 100 in this upper left because of him. So I guess just this bottom table here, we're 200 big blinds deep. But like I three bet him with that 8-7 suited. Hands like that are going to be better for three betting when you're deep. Up here on the top right is a good example of my playing back at him. King high flop is a flop that he's going to be betting really wide. And so it's a nice spot to check raise, especially given that I have the gut shot. I probably, when I'm called, well, I don't know. He's also shown a willingness to call us light. It's not actually inconceivable to me that he could call here as a float, or that he could call here with something like ace high, thinking it might still be good to see if we're going to fire a second barrel. And given that he has shown a tendency to call us light, I am actually inclined. It's kind of another example of ramping up aggression to fire a second barrel at him here.